Hello, future Jesse here. In case you haven't read this book yet, I really suggest going back and reading it if you don't want any spoilers, because we are totally spoiling this book. You have been warned. Okay, welcome to Book Club The Yappening, a podcast where we discuss every and all things we read, and some of us have not read yet. And it's also a safe space to just yap as we please about life, what may. Since this is our first podcast, it's only right we introduce ourselves. So, beginning with me, I'm Jessie. I'm into fantasy. I'm actually a horror for fantasy. It's mostly what I read. I also am very into D&D podcasts, and that's mostly where my genres fall in. And then we have Brittney.
Yes, hello. I read most things, I guess. Definitely love a horror and a thriller and a fantasy moment. Um, and yeah, I just kind of vibe. I'm just vibing through life, man.
And Nick.
Have me. Um, I didn't read much for the longest time, but I'm starting to get back into it again. Mostly focusing on horror and thrillers and muddy smut.
We do love a
Smutty
smutty smut,
smut.
certainly.
Which is speaking about smut, we will have a smut version of this, but it'll happen down the line. We're gonna make a Patreon. It's gonna be yapping after dark, so stay tuned for that if this pops off. Also for
Is it going to be Yappening After Dark, or is it going to be the Smuttening?
The smuttening, I love
no,
that.
the smuttening after dark. Oh my god! But wait, the smuttening after dark. We absolutely need to have that. Also, for a warning, since it is like we're just starting this podcast, tech is going to be a little interesting. We're eventually going to move to in-person podcasts with video, so bear with us if you're listening while we're just starting. Shit happens.
Bear like Craig.
Craig Bear.
Craig Bear. Craig Bear with us.
Oh yeah, Discord Craig Bear. That's what we have right now because audio's hard. But today's book session, obviously, title's gonna state it, is Slewfoot. Literally Slewfoot, and my take on it is pop off queen. Literally.
Absolutely. We support women's wrongs, and good for her, honestly.
Yes. I will say me and Brittney read it together. Nick, I think you've heard a little bit from Brittney about it, but you haven't read it, correct?
Correct. Yeah.
Right, I know there's a goat man of some sort. I didn't know that Baby No Money was already getting into the book game. And, there's feet involved. If that's your thing, go off. Pop off, foot queens.
Did you say
You are a foot queen, honestly.
Yes. Slewfoot.
You know, the foot. It's in the title.
Yeah, you're right.
It does what it says on the tin.
You are correct, yes. I did write down notes for this originally. I abandoned those notes, unfortunately. So general synopsis, I would say, of the book is you have a woman named Abatha Williams. She comes from England, and she is basically sold off by her father to marry a man named Edward Williams. And so she sails all the way across the sea from England to the New World, to, what would you say, the Puritan community?
Yeah, she's essentially being sold as a bride to the colonies. And she is living in a puritanical village or on the outskirts of a puritanical village. Also, like, quick pause. Edward was a hunchback, right? Or was I tripping? Like, I swear to God.
He was. No, he had, like, so he was tall, he was built, obviously, but he seemed, I think the description was kind of hunched over, like he had, like, a lump almost on his, like, not a lump, but, like, yeah, he had a hunch.
Right.
Like, that's how I saw him, so.
Because, like, her just straight up being like, yeah, my dad said I was pretty, but I'm not, but it's okay because he's a hunchback. And I'm like, Abatha, what the fuck are you saying,
right.
Queen?
Talk about, she's like, yeah, they say I'm not pretty, but whatever. Like, okay, queen.
I know, like, okay,
but,
go off, babe, I guess.
Speaking of Edward, I expected when I first read this, I'm like, oh god, she got married off. Where's the abuse beginning? Like all of this, but I stand Edward.
Right.
I love Edward. I love Edward so much. Edward Williams can get it any day, all day. I don't care. But
He
he's
doesn't
so
want it
sweet to
though.
her. No, he doesn't want it. Listen,
I
he's so
know.
sweet to her, and he lets. So in this village, I've obviously never lived in Puritan days, but you're not allowed to have your hair out. Like you have to be clothed, and so she's not allowed to have her like beautiful like red auburn hair, right? That's what I imagine with her, like green eyes, red auburn hair is what Abatha has, and so she has like nice like wavy hair, and she has to keep that shit stuffed in a bonnet, and he
I
likes it
know.
when her hair's down at home. And it's like taboo in this world. And even
I
at
know.
home,
They're
you're
like,
not
"Ho,
allowed
cut
to
your
have.
hair."
Yeah, and they're like, you should sleep with your bonnet on. Like that. There was like a comment in there about like people sleep with their fucking bonnets on, and I'm like, yes,
I
that's
mean,
great for curly hair, like in modern day. But bitch wants her hair free.
I do be sleeping in a bonnet, that's for sure.
Oh, I know. I should be with my curly hair, but unfortunately, I am stubborn and my hair is frizzy as
Girl,
fuck.
get yourself a
But
little
it's
silk lined hat.
I know. I bought one once and then I tore it off in the middle when I was sleeping, but I guess
Ugh,
you learn.
R.I.P.
I know. My curls be sad. But anyways, so he loves it when her hair's out. He's also an artist. Can we talk about how Edward, he
Yes.
might not be the brightest, but he is a hard worker and he is a freaking artist. And they have a very Titanic moment. Like she totally lets him
Yeah.
sketch her naked. And he's like, oh, I can't.
He
God,
drew
but
the titties.
God. He did draw the titties and he felt shame for
Yeah,
it underneath the eyes of God.
he sure did.
Anyways, to reel back. So Abatha lives with Edward, married to Edward. They live in just very much in the outskirts of this village. I forgot the village name. I think it's Welding, Connecticut is where they live. And
Yeah.
it's like in is it like the 1666 is like when it's set in the 1600s is around the time that it's set. I believe. Let me look at my
Yeah, I mean,
quick.
it's solidly the Pilgrim days. Like,
Yeah. And so they have a farm and they work hard on this farm. It's their farm. They don't have much. They are definitely struggling on stale bread and like very little meat. So they have very little, but they're making do. They're the farm is actually owned by Edward's brother, William Wallace. Not Wallace. Wallace
no,
Williams.
not
Oh
William
my
Wallace,
god.
just Wallace. And
It's
Wallace is Daddy's
Wallace
special
Williams.
boy.
He is
Like, honestly,
Great paint.
Wallace he has a daddy complex. Wallace has a daddy complex.
he sure does.
Let me tell
Honestly,
you.
take a drink every time Wallace says papa. It's like absolutely
Yes.
ridiculous.
Oh my god, you can make a literal drinking game out of saying papa. I know papa, but our farm papa. I won't let her take our farm papa. He's a bitch.
I
What am I
know.
notes
It's like, get it together.
Oh, what am I
The drink has to be
notes for him?
Popov,
It's
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But so you immediately get to meet Wallace and he comes and he starts taking all the shit that they have. He's like, I want the meat. And it's like the only meat that they have left. And he's just like, yeah, it's mine. Yeah.
Yeah,
Also,
they're like,
she made him dinner. And Wallace ate their dinner.
he's just a little bitch, honestly. The worst human to ever exist.
Yeah. And then so Wallace is visiting them on this fateful day because motherfucker decided to make an investment with a shady man, in my opinion, he's shady, in Hartford about, getting money to make a tobacco farm that everybody and their mother warned him against doing because they in their environment or like where they live, I don't know if it's climate or like how the soil is, but tobacco does not grow there. So his crops failed. He claims he
Yeah.
did hard work, but I don't think he did I think he just thought they would grow from the ground. To be fair, I don't think he actually did
Honestly,
anything.
more people really should have told him no in his life, and it's very clear that just, he's Daddy's special boy and could do whatever he wanted.
Yup. But, season's up. He has to repay his debts now. Investors are calling. They want their money. Motherfucker put Edward's farm up for sale. With the notion of, this is not your farm. it was underneath my name because I'm the eldest son. So Papa gave it to me. So it's my farm. I don't care if
Right.
you've been making payments on it to pay it off so it could be your farm one day. I need it now to cover my debts. I'm so sorry to do this to you. After
And
he
like
steals the food.
what's even the most shitty is that they're struggling because they're trying to buy the farm and they're approaching their last summer where they have to work for Wallace and then Wallace is like, LOL, just kidding guys. Go fuck yourselves.
Yes. And boy, does that set Abatha off. And soon you learn that women don't have a voice in this village, really. So
Well,
she's
it's
not.
just how history works, unfortunately.
It's how history works, unfortunately. Like totally get it. Even the women in the village, they also believe, women shouldn't, speak business essentially. Um so that's where you begin. They're about to lose the farm. Abatha, she coaches poor Edward and how to speak to his brother. Because obviously, I think Edward's like a peacemaker, in my opinion. So he just wants to keep the peace.
I think I'm quite certain the spell is on the spectrum, like just
Oh,
wholeheartedly.
100%. Oh, 100% he is.
Yeah.
Um, in like the most wonderful way, especially the fact that he's like a beautiful freaking artist. Like, yes, absolutely. Um, But yeah, Abatha, she talks with Edward and she helps coach him through the situation and what to say because they're gonna go to town to talk. What was it with the? I know she talks to the priest and there's somebody else
Yeah.
she talks
It's
to
mainly just with the minister.
minister. Yeah, the minister. So they
Because
talk with the minister.
Wallace's full stance is that it was okay for him to use their farm as collateral because technically it was his property and it doesn't matter that he already had an agreement with them to like sell them the farm. So Abatha is trying to approach it from the angle of Wallace already had an agreement with us, and it would be unlawful and immoral for him to go back on that agreement just to give the farm to someone else. So Abatha's pretty certain that if Edward kind of approaches the minister from that angle, that the minister will ultimately side with Edward. But also the minister has like beef with the guy that is essentially going to be taking over the farm anyways. So he's like, I'm okay with just not letting this guy win because he sucks.
Yep, it's like the shady shark from Hartford.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah. But hey, the minister.
Yeah.
So one thing this book does that trips me up is that they have a lot of wins at the beginning. So the minister listens and he agrees Edward should have the farm if he can make the last payment. And
Right.
I'm like, oh hell yeah, like let's go. They won. They are going to get their farm after one more season of growing like food and their crops. And then
And like another side note is that this farm was basically just non-functioning when Edward took it over anyways. So like not only is this his home and his livelihood, but he built it from the ground up. Like there essentially was no farm. It was fully barren. And through his hard work, it's become a fruitful farm, that can even be worth anything anyways. So its whole value is from Edward's like hard work and dedication.
oh yeah, and let's talk about the beekeeping king over here too. He also
I
beekeeps for fun
know.
on the side. That's like his fun
We
thing to
love
do
a
on the
bee
side.
fella.
Can we? Sorry. No, we'll get into this, but can we talk about how much I love that Samson also loved Honey Brittle that she made, just like Edward did? That connection. I was like, you ate the man, but you also ate his cravings.
I mean, I think you just love that because you too have a curiosity for eating honey and honeycombs.
I do. Um, okay, so they get that all said. I don't know how to jump right into it. Okay, so in the forest, we have what we call Slewfoot. In the story, it's like their stag demon lore, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Um, he is at the same time frame. He was killed in his past. It sounds like from protecting this great giant tree with red leaves called Pawpaw. Um, he has little creatures called wild folk that are trying to bring him back to life to help protect Pawpaw because it's growing once again. And
And
so the
like they're
first thing,
creepy little animals with baby faces.
yeah. Once we like, I believe what Forrest is Forrest the one the opossum with the
Yeah,
child's
Forrest
face.
is. They all have children's faces because there's
Too.
Sky, Lake, and Forest. So it's like a possum, a fish, and a crow with like baby faces, and they call him
That's a,
father, which is just super
they
strange,
do
like a
call
little
him
kinky.
father. Yeah, no, they call him father. He is father. Um, yeah, so they feed him a goat named Samson at the very beginning of the book because Abatha is searching for Samson and loses him. And then later, because Abatha, they call him cunning woman, right? Her family
Mm-hmm.
is comes from women that make charms and like good luck, like not like so good luck charms, like ointments, anything to ward off like anything like evil type thing. Um, so she's also very superstitious. So she takes Edward out into the forest, and I think does she try to make a gate so no more like animals wander into this like cave that
So
is
yeah,
protected?
a little side note is that she basically had found that the goat wandered into the cave and like fell down into a pit, and she's like, this is sketch. And she does make those charms, but before they go into the cave to search for the goat again, um they basically have a fight because the minister's wife called her out for like peddling charms in town, and she's like, you think you're clever but you're not, I know what the fuck you're doing. And so Edward's like, please, you have to stop doing these charms, like people are going to like hang you like at least a little bit. So she was like, fine, you don't get to have my charm to cave, fuck you.
Yeah, and then poor Edward gets tricked by the little wild folk and gets devoured by Samson. So R.I.P. Edward.
Rest in peace, king.
Rest in
And
peace.
Samson was the goat.
Samson
Yeah,
was
so
the goat
Samson
from
was
the
the goat.
beginning. And then she names father Samson because she refuses to call him father, which is totally fair. I'm like, I would not call Goatman daddy either. Well, I might, depending on
And
the
like,
situation.
yeah, depending on the situation, because how he's depicted, isn't it? He has a goat top, but a man bottom. I believe is his
That's
description. A
honestly the
man
best way to
bottom.
go about it.
So a reverse mermaid
A
situation.
man
Okay.
bottom. Reverse
Yeah.
mermaid, essentially. Um, but yeah, so he doesn't remember who he is. Samson is confused. Is completely lost. He is about to embark on a journey of self-discovery. Um, and the little wild folk just are like, kill all the people in the town. They want to kill Pawpaw. You gotta kill them. And then they make a mention of, I'm gonna say this like wrong again. Manupet? Say it for me.
Now I can't
Hold
think
on,
of
I
it.
don't.
It's
I got you. Hold
to
on.
be fair, I've only ever said it in my brain.
Same. I've only ever said it in my brain. It's Manunapet.
Mamuna Pet? It's Mamuna Pet.
Mamunapet. So Mamunapet. Um, Samson knows nothing about Oh
Manu.
my god. It's a really cool name.
Here's the thing though, you
Mamunapet.
listen to the audiobook
Mamunapet.
too, so you
I know, yeah,
you
I did
also listen
listen.
to the audiobook, so you should not be struggling like this.
Oh,
I
wait a pet.
know, but
Do 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 do.
I really enjoy the name though. Mamunapet.
Yeah.
So the little wildfolk are keeping his name away from Samson. But for reasons I think we'll discuss later. But So Samson's coming out. He's being told to kill these people who are basically hurting Mother Earth. And I believe the tree and the cave are all near the farm. So the first sites they want to do is kill Abatha. And our lovely Samson is very bloodthirsty at this point. Like he's just taking hearts and squeezing them into his mouth. I think that was like the depicted
Yeah.
scene where he squeezed a heart and was just drinking it, like the blood from the heart.
And the wild
Um,
folk are basically telling him that he's the slayer. Like that's his purpose in life, is to just kill humans.
So they're really just trying to make him be a murder guy. But he's like, but what if I don't want to murder people? What if I have a different purpose in life?
So reverse Buffy,
Yeah.
reverse Mermaid. Got it.
Yes,
yeah,
absolutely.
he definitely does not want to kill anybody. But in this time frame
Except
when
when he
he's
does.
coming out, yeah, except when he does. So in this time frame when he's, coming out of his cave, he's coming out for the first time.
And he's doing just fine.
He's doing just fine. Abatha is struggling with being a widow in this town. Actually, wait, I want to circle
And,
back
like-
real quick. You go first.
No,
Leave a
okay, so
comment.
here's the thing. So Edward's dead, right? And then Wallace is like, cool, but we get to take the farm now because Edward's dead and you're a woman, so you don't get to say things about things. And he's like, but it's okay because you can just come live in my house and be my servant. And so that's very generous of me to do, is to take your home after you just lost your husband and make you be my servant. And then at one point he floats the idea that she might marry his teenage son, which is just so freaky and weird. But she's like, cool, but there's this other widow that's just like chilling and like minding her own business in her own house. So why don't I get to do that? Because I too am widow. So essentially,
I am widow.
okay, but like, so I guess there's like this whole thing that if your husband dies, you get to make decisions on behalf of your husband because, you're a lady, so you don't get to be your own person. You're just an extension of whatever man happens to keep you at that point in time. But essentially, she's told that if she's able to grow the corn and do the thing through the summer, she can then just buy off the farm. But she has to be able to sort of tend the farm by herself, which isn't something that she's ever done before. Like, yes, she helped Edward, but she wasn't like out there doing the backbreaking like portions of the thing.
Yeah, which is quickly shown when she's trying to hook up the donkey to go plow the fields to plant the corn. Poor
Yeah.
thing. Which is
I know,
now at
she's a
this point,
strong,
she's
independent
very much-
woman, but
Yeah. It's like so interesting to me that she definitely had I wouldn't say she was like in love with Edward, but they had this sweet love for each other. It was very much a
She-
respect, like love.
at one point refers to him as a kindly uncle.
Yes, that's
But then,
very
like-
much how he treats her.
But she also just wants to be wanted, essentially. So she's like, can you just be horny at me just for once, please, for the love of God? And
Yeah,
then
oh my God,
they
so
do get
that's
horny and the spiders watch them.
Yeah, they did. The spiders did watch them. So like that's the thing I wanted to circle back to. Let's talk about how they finally get it on and have this passionate moment after he like draws her like naked. And he wakes up the next day before he dies and he's like, we're never going to do that again. How dare I like do like what does you got wait like your man and wife, are you not supposed to do the do to possibly make babies in the future? Is that not like
I
acceptable?
mean, but you're only supposed to do it to make babies. Like that's the
Oh.
puritanical way. Like you can't enjoy anything. You're not supposed to enjoy anything because joy is bad. So you're just supposed to live your life and just hate every second of it, honestly. So he's upset because he was horny because she's hot and not because he wanted babies.
Fair. Okay, fair.
If you don't feel shame, are you even godding right?
Exactly.
If you don't feel shame, are you even getting right? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I want that in a cup, actually. Or a sweater.
You know what? Just in time for Christmas. Are you even godding right?
Are you even getting right? Um,
Shameful.
Most of them aren't, honestly. If you take a look around, nobody is godding correctly.
no one's
Shamefulness is next to
godding
godliness.
correctly. Shamefulness.
Like the people who are godding the most are not the people who are god people.
Honestly, yeah. And then okay, refocusing. So she's trying to, make some corn. This is where it's explained that the soil's already like hard enough to grow stuff in that like it's just going
Also,
bad for her.
side note, it's a drought, okay? And like Wallace's
Yes.
little bitch ass, he just keeps riding by her farm just to take pleasure in the fact that she's sucking at life.
Which is so upsetting. But he was like, it was so funny. I rode by there.
He's like, I rode by there and she was watering the crops from the well. Can you fucking believe? He's just like so giddy.
Yeah, oh my god, this poor man has nothing else to do in his life but fucking antagonize Abatha.
Mm-hmm.
I
Literally.
cannot tell you how much. Like, seriously, if you ever give this book listen to the audiobook because the voice actress does a great job at like
She put her whole pussy in that. I swear to God.
yeah, she did. And like the way she did Wallace was just like chef's kiss. It was great. I knew every time his bitch ass was getting onto the scene. Um but so she's struggling with this crop. It's a drought. She's one person. She's literally has no food, is thin and bone. Like she's still trying. She doesn't want to give up. Um I will say Samson does come to try to kill her in the barn with the wild folk, and I think with the interaction with Wallace after she like gets scared off and goes into the cabin for the night made him appreciate her. Cause they when they don't want to be seen, the wild folk and Samson, they just become shadows. So they're the shadows on your wall or on your floor. They're just there, but you don't know. You just see shadows. So they can just watch in plain sight. So he was watching their interaction and how Abatha was very much unyielding to Wallace. And
Yes.
and
He also he just was picking up her vibes, like game recognized game. Like he's like, I
yeah.
feel like you can maybe help me learn about myself because you're like a badass bitch and I maybe need a little bit of that. So that was kind of what Samson was vibing off of.
Mm-hmm. And he does help her. He helps her grow that corn. They do some beautiful, like hand touchy magic. At this point, I'm not gonna. I wanted at this particular point in the book, I was like, I want her to run off into the wilderness with the goat and to kill the whole town. That was where my brain was already going because already the town is just awful to her. Besides for the priest wife, I forget her name. I'll remember it.
And you having like said that to me after I had already finished the book, I wanted to be
Yeah.
like, well, great news, because that's where we're going. That is where we are headed, my love.
But yeah, so that's where Samson's like, yeah, see, I'm not a death god. Like, I'm not this Satan. What's a Satan? I'm not that. I make corn.
Right. He's like, if death god, why grow, you know?
Yeah, if death god, why grow? And so he's getting really high off of that, and she has like a really strong connection to Mother Earth because I think in her line of the women in line of her, they probably have like a touch of witchcraft, like a very strong touch. And
So like
Abatha
what cunning women were is kind of like garden kitchen witch, and by that I mean like they literally grew plants and knew the medicinal purposes for shit. So like that's what a cunning woman was. Is just a woman who was smart and like knew what plants do. So like in a historical context, cunning women were in fact a thing, and that is essentially what it was, is that they know herbology. And so if you maybe had an unwanted pregnancy, you would go find your cunning woman and she would like give you things to help you out with that.
I didn't know that, actually, that they were a real thing.
Yeah, no, I mean, a lot of, obviously not the spiders and all that shit, but like, a, this was very much founded in historical. Like, this is very solidly historical fantasy.
Gotcha, I didn't know that. You're right. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, so with her help, he starts unveiling more memories the more he's with her and the more they do magic together. But obviously, there's a give and a take, and he's neglecting the pawpaw tree that the wild folk very much want him to protect because they'll die out if this pawpaw tree does not live. And the pawpaw tree requires blood sacrifice per the wild folk.
Yeah, and like the wild folk have good intentions. Like the only issue is that they're like, if we need him to do what we need him to do, we can't tell him anything. And had they just been like upfront with any pieces of information at any point in time, things probably would have got a lot smoother for everybody involved.
Honestly, yeah, and some people might not have died. But anyway, um oh my gosh. So yeah, they're doing their little magic bit. Wallace is having he's literally having an aneurysm every time he goes to see that the corn is doing well. And so he hires some people in Hartford to come help him steal
He
the
doesn't
corn.
hire some people in Hartford. He
Oh.
goes over to like the Native Americans and he's like, "Hey, you guys like to steal, right? Like, let's go get some corn." Like, it wasn't even just him like hiring thugs. Like, he's like, the natives will definitely steal this corn with me.
Yeah, and he's just setting them up basically too. That's the worst part. He's setting them up.
I know. And then his goofy ass tries to like cosplay. Like, he just puts like some straw under a hat and he's like, "I too am native." And it's like, my guy,
Oh
what
my
are you doing?
God. He is so fucked. And then he's his goal is just to clear out the corn. They're just like, we're just going to take what we can carry. That's all they want. And he's loading up this cart. The cart fucking breaks, so he sets the barn on fire because Wallace is crazy as shit.
And like,
Turns out
what's the
his son was
crazy,
there
like,
too.
his son was there. He's just out here with his child, making him do all sorts of crime. But the what is so crazy is Wallace is very much like cutting his nose off to spite his own face because he doesn't even give a fuck about getting money for the corn. Like, he's fully just about to give it away to the natives or burn it because he just didn't want her to have the farm. And like, yeah, okay, he would have lost his own farm instead because if Edward's farm wasn't the collateral, then his own home had to be the collateral. But like, she did so well with the fucking corn. Right, just like not Papa's farm. No, but like she did so well with the corn. Like, you're gonna make so much money from her hard fucking work, my guy. Just take the fucking money. Like, what are you doing? Like, what are you even doing right now?
Yeah, and what gets me is like, I was wondering when I was reading it, and like, could she have potentially paid off his debt as well as like secured the farm with everything that she had did? Not that she should, because Wallace should fucking learn his lesson.
She wouldn't have because she's a boss babe and he treated her like trash, but like, realistically, if he was just a nicer person, this probably would have been a lot better. But I mean, we say that about a lot of people, I'm sure. So
Oh yeah. Um, but so even with the crops fail, they do their magic again, and the bees make them so much honey. And honey's going down a
yes.
lot right now because it's not people's little bee farms are not yielding as much as they were hoping. So
But also, just to kind of circle back, is that Abatha like fully catches them like setting her shit on fire, and she straight up shoots Wallace. Like, she shoots his ass in the leg, and it's like, you get him, girl. And then the next time she sees him, she's like, "How's your leg, bitch?"
yeah, as he's coming to collect the final payment with the sheriffs in town because he's like, I know she's not going to be able to have it. And she plays dumb at first and like, yeah, my corn, my corn got fucked. How's that leg, Wallace? Because they were coming to town, and one of the men ended up dying in this whole carfunkle because what's his name? Samson, he kills him.
He had a heart attack.
Also,
He was like, "This is a goat, and I'm frightened," and then he.
oh yeah, he didn't kill him. He just had a heart attack. Oh no, wasn't it the old lady had a heart attack? I thought he choked him to death.
Oh, maybe, I don't know. Who knows? Just
So,
bad
that's
men are
circle back.
dying, and
You're
that's good.
listeners, you're gonna have to read the book if you want true facts.
If you want the true facts.
True facts.
Just sprinkle in some lies, turn this into 2 truths and a lie.
Yes.
You gotta read the book to
Truth
find out which
and a
one's
lie.
which.
Special Daddy
He's still
edition.
selling that book. But yeah, so she buries that man on the top of the hill, and she put up a sign basically that says "Beware," and they're like, "Oh, she must be going mad. She must be going mad. Poor woman. Poor woman." And
Right.
yeah, no, she
Also,
gives him more than enough.
other kind of side note that will in fact get important is that kind of in between the corn and the fire essentially, Abatha goes into town and finds out that the minister's daughter has the measles, and she's like down bad, she's not getting better, and considering that the minister and his wife have kind of low-key been looking out for Abatha this entire time, she makes like a remedy for the measles, like a salve to put on the rash, and then Samson helps her imbue it with magic. So she takes it over there and she actually fully does some magic up in the minister's house.
She disguised it like a prayer, like a churchly prayer, though. That was smart on her
Yeah.
behalf. She was like, "Pray with me."
No, for
Is it
sure.
Martha? No,
Yeah.
Martha's the daughter. I think Martha's the daughter.
I don't know, man. Don't ask me a person's name. I could not tell you. I'm just
But
vibing. I'm just in there vibing.
yeah, and then like they know she's her mother was a cunning woman, so this is not like they're not immediately like, "Oh, this is witchcraft. This is just a cunning woman thing." Like they are
Well,
not
because
like
the
immediately
minister's
like witchcraft.
wife is actually kind of semi-worldly in that like she also was getting up to some shit like when she was a youth in England and stuff. And she's while she is like a very pious godly woman, she also just has even a fraction of some sense on her, so she knows that not everything's evil. Also, Abatha very much is like, well, God has plans, so wouldn't he want us to use them to like make people feel better when they're not well, which is totally valid.
Yeah. And like God gave her the ability to think and make a lotion that actually helps. Like if God did not want that, God would not make it so. And it's my belief.
Right, exactly.
So yeah, that does happen. And then so she gets the farm. Right away, she gets the farm.
Yes.
Samson's still having an identity crisis, but she gets the farm.
Yes. Yeah, and so she is having this epiphany moment when she's like crying to Samson about the corn, and she's like, well, I could sell the beehives because beehives are worth like a ton of money, and so is honey. And then Samson's like, well, wait, if honey equals money, why not make more honey and just have money from that? So she gives Wallace like a huge chunk of what she owes him, and she's like, this is the money that I have right now, and then I win. And she's like, no, but I'm gonna give you this honey, like twice what I still owe you, so technically you're getting a better bargain anyway.
Yeah, that was such a good like in your face moment. It's like, here's everything I owe you, plus plenty more. And even all of the
Right.
parents are like, this is more than like, this is great. Like, you should be happy. And so he's not.
Wallace just gets to look like a little bitch because he's crying about it, and everyone's like, "Guys, take your honey and your money and get out of here. Leave this woman be."
But then good old Wallace is like, witchcraft. And he's like, I gotta go find proof that she's witchcrafting. So he's just watching her like a freaking freak.
Literally.
And at the same time,
He's just such a
watching
creep.
her. He is. Oh, and side note, so when Abatha first meets Samson, she does think he's a devil. She's very afraid of him. And then she comes to like the Hospital of Hope and like want that he is actually a god of the forest and he is good and not evil. So that's what she's clinging on to. She's also a religious woman. She doesn't want to do any dealings with the devil. Like she's really aware of this. And then
Mhm.
while this is all going on, Samson's still trying to figure out who he was. And he meets Munapet um
Yes. Nailed
upon
it.
his searching. And he's like, "Who am I?" And so you find out here, like, that Mamunapet is actually, like, their antagonist, is the wild folk antagonist. He wants to make the
Mhm.
people bend to his will. He wants to take all of the power of Paw. He wants to convince Samson that he is evil and only evil, and he must sleep in order to not hurt people again, because once upon a time,
Right.
Samson was being worshipped by people and he was bringing life into the world by using, like, people giving him gifts and stuff like that to give them, good harvest or whatever. So he was actually a good god, but sometimes good people have to do bad things in order to protect people. But also, it's like what? Mamunapet, he gave the people magic. It's such a hard. I love the name though. He gives people magic, and it makes them crave more and more, which is what was destroying the forest. And I think Samson gets killed at that moment. And in order to help him, the wild folk, they mix their blood with the fruit of pawpaw and feed it to him, which unfortunately made him crave blood, and he ended up killing everybody in the village because of it. And that was not their intent of doing that. That's why they were keeping
Yeah,
it a secret,
so
because they felt bad.
a little bit more of a concise sort of summary of that whole entire plot line.
Is that Samson was essentially a god of and the like nation's first people that lived in his area. He would help them, and so they very much would give him offerings, and he was basically a deity for them. But the more he helped them, the more they wanted him for them. So it just kind of became like just this never ending cycle of the more he did for them, the more they demanded. And then Mamunapet, he rolls up and he's like, "Hey, but that tree over there, you don't even need to ask Samson for shit. Just go get that tree and you guys are good." So then the little wild folk are like, absolutely not. We are now taking this very kind forest god and turning him into a monster, basically. So with the whole blood thing, the reason he went batshit crazy is the wild folk were so fucking mad that while they were doing the spell, they basically just gave him entirely too much rage. It was very much Chemical X coded.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. Because they were so hateful that their hate translated into what they were giving him, which made him hateful. Got yeah. That's why.
So then he killed everybody. It was the how
Yeah,
that
he
story
did.
ended is he did be killing all of the folk, unfortunately.
He did. He
Got it.
became the Slayer to protect Papa. But
Yeah.
yeah, so that was that storyline, and I believe the opossum, if it's Forest, he ends up dying trying to get Samson out because they're fighting Mamunapet now, and Samson has
Yeah.
to break free of his
So
sleep.
when Samson goes to Mamunapet is very much like, "Hey, I know who you are. That let me show you what happened." But then he only shows Samson the bad shit. He like only shows Samson him like literally rampaging through town murdering everybody.
Mm-hmm.
So he's like, "Yeah, no, you're evil, and I can see that you don't want to be evil. So if you just let me put you in this mask and you just stay there forever, then you will never be able to hurt anybody else." And so poor Samson is like, "Yeah, I'm a bad guy. Let me just get into this mask."
Yeah, and he goes to bed, and then while he's in bed, sleeping, going to sleepy, Abatha is having the worst fucking time of her life because yes, she does get accused of witchcraft. Lo and
A
behold, and
very horrible, no good day.
listen. So that's the crazy. She was doing witchcraft. Like, don't. She was doing witchcraft. Like, I will give them that. But he never saw her actually do the witchcraft. It was her weaving something that was like a
She
witchcraft.
like
It was her cat Booker, and he's like the crooked cat, the cat that she saved from like murderous dogs, and because it got so mauled, its back got, like, healed not right, like, it's out of shape, the
And
tail's bent.
he has one eye. Like, this cat is
What?
fugly, essentially. And they're like, you know what? That cat is so ugly, it must be a fucking demon. And it's like, can you leave
It's her
that poor cat alone?
familiar. It's her familiar.
Yes.
So,
Also,
Wallace
okay, so the side note, just the book cat's name isn't Booker, it's which I guess is like a type of fae. So that kind of also helps seal the deal for the townsfolk. Like, she named the cat
sure.
after fae creatures. So then obviously she's a witch and that cat is a fugly demon.
Mm, gotcha. Interesting. Did not
Yeah.
know that. Um, but yeah, so Wallace, rides his ass back into town, convinces everybody to come forward somehow with the charms that she has given. 'Cause she peddled charms to help save her money. When times are, bad for them. So that's how
Mm-hmm.
she contributed. And even though, Edward was like, please don't, it was one of her ways that she can contribute. Um, and so they all
And she
came
was very
forward,
much the charms very specifically were going to predominantly teenage girls because who wants a charm more than a teenage girl who wants happiness in boys. So
Mhm.
unfortunately it was very crucible coded in that people are like, she's a witch, and then every teenage girl who had a charm of hers was like, oh my god, this charm is burning me. And it's like, I need you guys to simmer the fuck
Mhm.
down, okay? You're doing entirely too much.
It's like, it's burning me. I feel Satan leaving me type shit. Um, but yeah, so they all, turn on her. And she gets, she knows bad shit's happening. Oh no, because Wallace comes back and they try to arrest her and she does summon the bees to her Wallace. It was more so, I think, out of
Okay,
accidental rage that she summoned them.
but because Wallace fucked her up, like he body
Oh, he
slams
did.
her,
He
he
fucked her
beats the
up.
shit out of her, he
He
breaks her
basically breaks her
fucking
leg.
leg. Yeah, so yeah, of course the bees fucking sting
Yeah,
the shit
no.
out of him. The problem is he wasn't the only guy there, and the bees only stung him. Like, it's like,
Yeah, because
babe,
there
I
was
think I
like,
need you to cover your tracks a bit better.
yeah, because it was like his son was there, and then there's this like creepy little, like, I think old guy that like just spies on everybody, so he thinks everybody's doing the like Satan's work. So he's just like
Mm-hmm.
spying on everybody. So all three of them were there, and he beats the shit out of her basically, and she stings him, and they run off to go scream witch. So she's packing up her shit. She knows at that point. She knows like she's done for, and before she can even leave, they she I'm proud of her for shooting at the fucking sheriff, by the way, because like they come to
I
get her.
know,
She
good for
knows that
her.
this is a death sentence, and she shoots the sheriff, even though he's like, "You're not this type of person. You will not do this." She does it, but later she only got his ear, and she's like, "Yeah, that's where I was aiming." So we know baby's a good shot. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, so she gets into town, and Samson's sleeping. He can't come to her aid, even though she's calling for him because he's asleep and. They what do they do? Like, cause they bring her to trial, and obviously the minister from Hartford comes comes to deal with the court proceeding because they want to throw the priest out of their town because they're saying
Yes.
the priest has kind of lost his way. So they're trying
Well,
everything that they can to make the priest look bad on top of like, trying to because they're
they
all in
also
cahoots with trying to get this farm. Ugh.
literally, yes. Okay, but also the as prior mentioned, the minister and the magistrate like have beef.
Oh,
So they like don't fucking like each other at all. So
yeah, sorry, it's
plus
the
the minister
magistrate that came
like
in.
the minister basically gave Abatha a hall pass to not have to come to church for the entirety of the summer due to like her starving herself and working herself to the ground. So basically that is now thrown into the minister's face that he allowed Abatha to stray from God by not forcing her to come to church and supporting her being an independent lady and things like that. So that's very much being like used against the minister. And then to make matters even worse, they bring his poor fucking wife into it, and they're like, "Oh, you let her heal your sick child? How dare you, bitch?"
Yeah, I'm trying to get the priest's wife. Because it just all gets bad, because they obviously the verdict is she's a witch. And not even I would say
Hmm.
it's not just due to the witchcraft thing. I think they honestly are just using that to get the farm and to put, like, them in
I
their
mean,
place, so
Wallace very much has a solid Puritan argument for her being a witch. Like, in
oh,
all
yeah, that's
honesty,
100%.
like, yeah, like it was never going to go her way, even without people just vehemently being against her and wanting to take this farm away from her. Like, realistically, without any of that backstory, had Wallace just gone and stated what he stated, the way he saw things, it still was going to go poorly for her, even if she didn't have a bunch of people out to get her.
Mhm. I cannot find the wife's name, but, so, yeah, she gets sentenced to hanging, and then also is this Sarah Carter?
Maybe? I'm going, yes, I'm almost
Maybe.
certain. The issue is that like I have names from like the
Yes.
Crucible floating around in my noggin.
Yeah, her
But
name's
yeah.
Sarah Carter. So Sarah Carter,
Okay.
she also gets tried because she allowed a witch to come into her
Eight
home to cure her daughter.
basically they're accusing her of aiding and abetting the witch, not that she
Mhm.
herself is a witch, but that she
Yeah.
knowingly allowed it to happen.
And yeah, and I believe that's despite the ministers like
Well, yeah, of
standing in
course.
the village. Um so her she has to confess or die basically. So confess or hang. And they need her to confess because if they kill her, the minister's going to the governor. And the governor will do
Mhm.
something about it from what it sounds like. So they will do anything that they need to get her to confess, and they drag this pious woman through the fucking mud.
Quite literally. They like stab her and shit. They make her get naked in front of the town, perving on
Mhm.
her. It's really it's really quite harrowing. But also
Yeah.
they keep them in these tiny little cages, and like poor Abatha, she has like a literal broken leg, and they
Like
cram
they
her into this
jam
tiny box.
Yeah, they literally throw them into the box and jump on like sit on top of it to be able to close it. And then,
Mm-hmm.
they're sitting there baking in the hot ass sun because they're in a drought still. So, um
Also,
but in
fucking justice for Booka.
yes, oh my god, they hang the cat. Because it's yeah, obviously the familiar, and they bring her to go see the hanged cat too. No, nothing else to see the hanged cat, to see that Sarah's not confessing no matter what. Um, and so it's like hanging day at this point. So um, I'm trying to remember. So
In
everyone's gathering into town for this because they need Sarah to confess. So the men go get this broken ass door from this building and put it on top of her and keep adding weight to it to get her to confess. But she's not confessing because she's not going to lie before God. Because she's
right.
truly a pious woman. She's not lying. She did not aid and abet a witch. So she was gonna die on this hill, but then her daughter comes and is like, "Father's lost without you. I can't live without you," type thing. And how are you gonna say no to your daughter? So she confesses. But the backtrack
Well,
when
even
go for it.
even more so than just like essentially the minister has been put into the stocks, so this like young teenage girl is essentially on her own because her mother is being
Hmm.
tortured in the town square and her father has essentially been jailed. So she says, please confess because I can't be alone. Like that is literally what the daughter said, is like, please don't
Yep.
make me be by myself right now. So like what is she gonna do, you know? Like her young daughter is all alone and has nobody to look out for her. Like obviously she's gonna do what she has to do at that point.
Yeah, and to backtrack real quick, so before they even put the door on top of her and add weights, they tried to get Abatha to admit that Sarah knew that she was
Mm-hmm.
aiding and abetting her to come in to help. And what she she connects the dots right then and there that Wallace is freaking out in the distance because they need Sarah to confess or else they're going to get into major fucking trouble if Sarah dies. So they're like, we can give you a quick death or a slow death, Abatha. We'll make you a deal as long as you admit that she helped you. Um, and they're like, we can hang you quick or we can hang you from your ankles so that the blood basically rushes to your head and it's a long, slow death. So she's like, you know what? I see what Sarah's trying to do. I see, she's obviously doesn't want to lie. But she sees the greater consequences that will fall upon all of them, even if they both die. So she's like, no, she's telling the truth. She didn't help. She didn't know type stuff. So yeah. So fast forward, she's getting crushed by the door. Her daughter comes in. She confesses. So Abatha still she's gonna get hung by her ankles, and that's exactly what they do. And then a nasty man decides to hang the cat with her. So the cat's like bumping into her face. So she's not
Yeah,
having a good time.
no, it's not great. But like the guards are essentially just having to stand around and wait for her to die, and they get drunk at night and they're like, well, I'm just gonna fucking tie your dead cat to your face, which is honestly horrific. But then they're like, how long is it gonna take this bitch to die? And someone was like, oh, it could take her a couple days. And they're like, what if we just killed her right now?
Yeah, and they like shove a napkin into her mouth. And luckily,
Mm-hmm.
at this time, Samson's awake. They defeat Mamunapet. And he finds
Mm-hmm.
out he's actually, a life giver and also a slayer. So he's come to terms with who he is at this point. And he goes to Abatha and he saves her basically.
Yeah.
He does. He saves her. And,
So
he's like, so you still
he
think I'm a
does.
devil?
He more or less says, like, hey babe, I got you. I can either like yeet you out of here and you can just be a cripple and just chill for the rest of your life, or I can give you some of my blood and you can be a boss ass bitch and kill.
Yup. And a bitch don't got nothing left no more. She's like, give me that blood, essentially. And then she starts slaying the whole fucking town.
Legitimately.
Yeah.
And honestly, you love to
awesome.
fucking see it.
Yeah, they were all so awful to her at the end. Like at the beginning, you would think that the town's not too bad. There's some catty bitches. Oh, what's the line? You have to find that line. The clucking bitches. Oh, the clucking cunts. Oh my god, that was great. That was
Oh,
a great line. Yeah,
I
but
mean,
so
yeah.
yeah, her goal is
I will look it up.
Wallace.
You go do your thing. Okay.
Yeah,
Yes,
so
Wallace.
her goal is Wallace. So she wants to
I
kill
mean,
Wallace. She's killing
she
the
has a
whole town in the
list.
process. She has a list. She's succeeding at this list. And so she does get to Wallace. It gets more dangerous the more, the town's huddling together in the church, trying to barricade it because she's out for blood. But she does get to Wallace. I forget what she does to him, actually. But I do know she lets
I
him
remember, and I
her
will tell
daughter.
you after I read the quote because I
Okay.
very distinctly remember what she did. But,
Okay,
anyways, the quote is mind your own. You are all not but a gaggle of clucking cunts. And honestly, fucking read him to filth, babe.
Yeah, a gaggle of clucking. I love that. Um,
So essentially, Abatha is like bug god at this point. So she rolls up into Wallace's house. She
she's a queen bee.
fucking literally she goes up to his daughter and she's like, hey bitch, you fucking lied. So I'm just gonna carve an L into your face because you're a lying ass hoe. And
Oh yeah, she carved an L
honestly, you
into her
love to see it.
forehead. Mm-hmm.
Yep, she sure as fuck did. And then Abatha like touches the like wood of his house and pulls out all of the wood eating beetles living within the house, and essentially they all come out and just fucking eat the shit out of him. So he's like descended upon bugs just coming out and eating the fuck out of somebody.
Yeah. And then and eventually she does get to she's the last man is Ansel, I believe, is the old man. And
Yes.
he's the very last one that she has to kill to feel like, slightly better. But everyone's shooting at her at this point, and she does get pretty fucked up and does end up dying.
Yeah,
Samson-
so she's just a sort of side note. The everybody's in like the town hall and Samson is like, "Hey, we can just go." And she's like, "Okay, but I have like one more person. I have like one last guy I got to get." And he's like, "You're not immortal and this shit is going to get a little spicy." And she's like, "But, you know, I got to kill this motherfucker." And then yeah, she does in fact get killed. Unfortunately,
She
rest
does
in peace, queen.
get killed. Rest in peace, queen. But that's where like the priest like gets together with Samson and they try to like he's like, call to your god, help me, because he's obviously Samson doesn't want her to die. Even the wild folk that are left, they feel sad that she's dead. But I believe Samson finishes Ansel off though for her. So no, he takes him, makes him fall.
Yeah.
And
But like
yeah,
so
and then they go.
the reason I circled back to her saying like I have one on my list is it's just people are like popping out of this window as the like town hall is burning down and like somebody says Ansel's name and Samson goes, "You're Ansel?" And he's like, yeah, you're mine now." Like he just fucking takes
Oh my
him with
God,
him like, "Oh, hey." He's like, "Wait, no, you were the last name, so I'm gonna have to kill you now. I'm sorry." Except not
Yeah,
even a little sorry.
Yeah, he makes him follow him all the way to the pawpaw tree. So all the way out of town, all the way back to the farm, and they carry, they carry Abatha with them, and they place her down at the beginning of the pawpaw tree, and he calls forth all of the cunning women. It sounds like to me at the end, where they're like they all appear in front of the stones that circle the cave. And
Yes. So her family of cunning women, they each matriarch took like a lock of her hair and braided it. So it was like just this generational necklace of like braided hair. And then at the pawpaw tree, all of her ancestors are there and they all remake essentially a braided necklace for her. So like essentially all of her grandmothers just pop up and are like, "Hey babe, we got you."
and then the pawpaw tree does grow one more fruit, and I believe they use that to bring her back to life.
Yes. So Samson has the wolves eat Ansel under the tree, and then Ansel's blood gives Pawpaw enough magic to grow one last fruit.
Yeah, and then oh, but the cute part too is Edward's soul has kind of been in and out during the time frame of this book, and his eyes were gouged out, like the shadow kind of was gouged out, and he would direct, like he was there to warn Abatha with every bad thing that was going to happen. And at the end, once they all appear, like he has his eyes back, he just sees her dead. He is sad, but his soul gets ushered to wherever he's going. So he doesn't get to see her come back to life, but Edward gets to move on. And
Mm-hmm.
after they do all that, fast forward like a couple like centuries.
You say a couple years. It's yeah, it's like the
centuries. No,
1970s.
yeah, it's like the 1970s, and they live in the fucking woods with Pawpaw, the pawpaw tree, and she's like, "Yeah, I live with the devil," and she fucking murders these two fucking men. Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
And you'll love to see it, honestly. Good for her.
You love to see it. Yeah, good for her. Nick, how do you feel?
It was a lot. I was seeing a lot of parallels. I feel like there's one or two particular stories of like, oh, I lost everything, but I'm making a deal with, a devil kind of to save my way of living. Well, I understand that, Samson wasn't necessarily a devil. He had devil-like.
That's how she felt. That
traditionally
she
devil-like.
could feel that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Traditionally,
She was telling her soul.
Yeah.
He said, "Wouldst thou like to live deliciously?" And she said immediately yes.
Yeah.
And we love that.
Here's some corn and honey, so delicious on.
You know what? You give me some corn and honey, and I'll do just about anything.
Right?
Huh?
I love corn and honey. Both of those items are delightful.
I will say, know about the author. I don't know if his name is pronounced this way, but Brom.
Uh-huh.
I was pleasantly surprised to find out that he was a man that wrote this because the how it is the way he writes women and like how he wrote Abatha.
Yes.
I related to it so much, and I was so
And
pleasantly surprised to find out it was written by a man.
you know what? There's
Oh.
another book, and this is on my to-do list for this. There's another book that's written by a man, and just the way he captures like the female experience is it's crazy. You know, it's like you're a man and you should not have been able to like touch me in this way regarding like just the feeling of having to be a woman.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no. We stand a man that stick and see into our eyes.
Literally.
Literally.
That's why Nick is our residential book daddy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought this was a very good book. I'm not a horror girly by accident. I do like fantasy. This was a bit more modern to me than what I normally read. So I was very much surprised to find out how much I enjoyed this book, and not an ounce of it was boring to me. The only thing I could have not done without that could have got deleted was Mamuna Pet, and I wouldn't have missed anything. But
Yeah.
we love a hot spider daddy because the book does come with beautiful drawings by Brom, and you get to see like what everybody looks like, and he's also an amazing artist.
Yes.
I wonder if he finds
Yeah, I was just
himself
looking
in
up his
Edward a little
Wikipedia.
bit. Mm-hmm.
We're gonna do he did a Krampus book as well.
Yeah, it's gonna
So
be a
we're
Christmas
gonna
special.
do a Christmas special on that one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But yeah, any more thoughts or takeaways from this book?
No, honestly, like I knew a little bit about it. I didn't really know a whole ton. The book definitely was not what I was anticipating it being, but it also very much exceeded my expectations as well. But honestly, we love a girl getting to live out her own dreams, honestly, and she just really fucked them all up. And we stand a queen. Absolutely.
Rightfully so. Yeah, so that will, I think, conclude our first podcast. Again, we're just starting off doing this, working out some kinks. We'll probably be more structured moving forward, since I'm not really a structured lady, and I was the one head-footing this one for the first time. So sorry, I'm not structured. I don't work with a pattern. I just wing life, unfortunately. But Brittney's taking on the next podcast, and it's not going to be a book that I've read. So I get to listen next time, and it'll be very much more structured.
Let me look and even see what it is, and then I can tell you what to anticipate. Goddess of Filth. Yeah, so Jesse, that was one that you picked out of my list.
I want to hear about Goddess of Filth.
That one again, I like had a very base understanding of what that was going to be, and it wasn't what I thought it was at all, but you know, again, it just really captivates the female experience, which we love. And I also listened to that while I was painting my fireplace.
I love that, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, so and then
I just want to
Nick has words.
Words, Nick.
Is going through Brahms. He has had just a extensive career. He worked as a concept artist on just this lineup of movies from 1999 to 2004. Galaxy Quest, like just concept artist. Galaxy Quest, Sleepy Hollow poster art, Bless the Child, which is a movie about like a young girl who is like born into a satanic cult. Ghosts of Mars, The Time Machine, Scooby-Doo, and Van Helsing.
Oh, well, you know what? Yes.
There's like kind of a dark theme running through all those. Makes absolute sense.
Sleepy Hollow is one of my favorite movies.
Yeah.
So it definitely feels right that he is even.
Yeah. What? Oh, just I had another thing. I was thinking about the name Abatha just like I wonder if that was. I didn't know if that was an actual name or just kind of you take a real name and fantasify it. And it is. It's of Welsh origin.
Yeah.
But there's also a character Abatha in World of Warcraft, which he worked on the video game cover for.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
Bet. Love that.
Different spelling, but Abatha
Yeah.
both ways.
Mhm. Nice.
That's all I got.
Don't worry.
Butters is like
we
standing on
have
top
your
of Nick
story.
staring. Huh?
Oh my god. The Butters is doing what?
She's standing on top of Nick, just staring directly into his.
It was intense.
She's like, it's bedtime.
Literally, you were so right. That is.
Yeah, it's like 9 o'clock. This is what 30s looks
Yeah.
like.
Yes, what 30s looks like. I will in our description. This is the first time I've ever posting on like Spotify. I'm gonna put our
Mhm.
Discord description in the description. Please join. I will make sure the invite code is active every time I post it because it does change, I believe, here and there. Join, come be a community, come suggest books to read or like give your
Yes.
own takes on it. Like we would love that very much. Or if you have thoughts on this book, absolutely tell us what your thoughts were. We would love that.
Mm-hmm.
And then when our Patreon gets up, I'll go ahead and list that as well. And then once we get YouTube rolling, I think we'll be set there. TikTok as well. So we're slowly starting
Yeah.
this. We're building an empire, queens. We'll keep-
Legitimately. I like how you say we're slowly starting this, and Nick today was like, "This is happening so fast."
You're right.
Like, I was told-
Excited.
I know.
I was told it was happening on Saturday, and just like, oh well, like I'll guest appear on or something, and then suddenly Sunday it goes from naming conventions of like 2 ghouls to like now there's 3 of us. I'm like, oh, I guess I'm a bigger part than I thought.
To be fair, when I talked to Brittney about it, like when we were at the coffee shop, I was already including you in on it. So I was like, this would be
Yeah.
great. We need a
We're a
male
package deal.
perspective.
Yeah,
We need a male
that's true.
perspective.
Plus, I feel like the books that you tend to like aren't necessarily ones that I would even read necessarily.
No, I mean,
He's thinking. Oh,
or
did I
that
lose
got drunk
you? There-
pushing that where
Oh, I can hear you now. Nick, you're going to have to repeat that. I'm so sorry.
that's fine. I was just Brittany was saying that I read different things than she does, and I said, yeah, you probably wouldn't, but Jesse might be one to read something like That Time I Got Drunk and Yeeted a Love Potion at a Werewolf, or How to Bite Your Neighbor and Win a Wager. Kind of like rom-com with some monster twists.
Yeah, we got the Dungeon Crawler Carl too coming up. I'm so excited.
That too.
I distinctly want the audiobook though, so I have to wait for my audio credits to like roll through because my roommate's just been super listening. She's caught up and it's just hilarious every time I hear a snippet from that audio. And I thought it was multiple people like doing a drama. Think of it. No, it's one dude voice acting all these characters and he's so good. I thought they were all different people.
I love
So
that,
I was
honestly.
shocked. He is like so different. And I'm like, there's no way. I was literally describing it to people. I'm like, the person, they do a bunch of people, they bring in a bunch of actors, it sounds like, to do this like audiobook. Let me make sure I recommend the right one. And she was like today, like, yeah, no, it's just this one person. It's one person.
You know,
I'm like, oh my God.
Another audiobook where like just the narrator was so fucking good with like just every individual character has a very, very distinct voice is The Reformatory. Like that is one of the best audiobooks. To the point where like as someone who used to exclusively listen to audiobooks in the car and physically read the books, I was finding myself coming home and just laying in bed staring at the wall listening to the audiobook because the audiobook was so good.
That's amazing.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. I think this yap session is coming to a close. And
Yes.
we'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Absolutely.
Bye.
Bye.